Covering the Universal Orlando Resort for over 5 years, you are listening to the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 261 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast. I'm your host Tracy, and with me I have Lee.
Hello everyone.
And I have Darren.
What's up, Internet?
How is everybody?
Good.
Good. Very good.
It feels like forever since we've done this.
It's not though.
It's been 2 weeks, but it feels like a lot longer. Oh, I was giving the game away.
Oh, again. I think everybody knows now.
I want to quick jump in and just say thank you to one of our producers who invited us over to his lovely house yesterday for a barbecue. Yes. It was awesome. So cheers, Chris.
Yes, thanks for the beer. It was awesome.
They got
what the heck? I didn't get invited to the barbecue.
Yes, I had to make butterbeer fudge to be able to go through the front door first.
Yeah. So good, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I put if you're a producer, the recipes in there.
But Chris got his first Producers Club pin.
He did.
Delivered in person. They're very small.
They're lovely. Don't put them down.
I'm not.
They're lovely. But yes, thank you, Chris, and your family is amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
They're very small. We're kind of sorry, but they're still cool. But we're a little bit sorry, but it's cool.
I like them. Anyway.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool, actually.
If you got two, you could wear them as earrings.
You probably could, actually.
Right, let's start too.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's start with some Producers Club birthdays, shall we?
Woohoo. Go on then.
So, I'm trying to. Shut up. Who's running this ship? Exactly. This month we have Steve Milson Payne's birthday on August 15th. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Steve.
On August the 20th, it's Thomas Brino's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Thomas.
And finally, on August the 19th, it's Zoe Waycott's turn. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Zoe.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, everybody.
Yes. I hope you all have a really great day and a spoiled rotten.
I got them the wrong way around, didn't I? I should have had Zoe's before Thomas's.
Right. We have no little things as Seth is incredibly busy. We are hoping he'll be back in 2 weeks.
No, he said he should be. He's just got a lot going on. He's trying to get in the last few things for his new book. So, yeah.
Yeah. So just in case anybody's wondering where it is, it's
a lot of people's favourite segment, apparently, so they'll turn off now. Oh, if that's not, I'm not listening.
Right. Darren, I do believe you have an email for us.
Oh, we're going to go there, are we?
We are going to go there.
Oh, okay.
I'm changing things up.
Let's see here. Yes, I got an email from Paul. I know that because he says, Paul here. I wanted to ask your thoughts about rumors of a Potter or Nintendo hotel being built at Universal Parks. Now that Disney has announced a Star Wars hotel, do you guys want to see Universal chase this possible new cash cow of luxury theme resort hotels? It would be great to stay in a more immersive resort where they can have weddings, food events, or big moneymaker conventions. I remember the rumors of a Potter hotel before, but most of the theme park community poo-poo those ideas. That's funny. Even some of you guys, shockingly. But you could see Universal teaming up with other IPs where you can get a section of hotel themes like DreamWorks, Back to the Future. Yes, how about that? Or other IPs like Ghostbusters, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, or James Bond resorts. Just something to ponder, guys. Well, you never know, and likely Universal Japan will get their first Potter resort before America does. That seems to be the pattern lately. Thanks, crew.
You're not keen. He's pulling faces. You wouldn't like to have say if they could do the rooms, so if they were like apartments, but they were like circular and it was stacked. So you had your main sitting room downstairs and then you had to go upstairs, up round curly twirly stairs, like in the Gryffindor Tower. And you had big canopy beds up there. And then you had to come down a slide.
I'm going to let you two go a little bit because I've got a lot to say on this.
Uh-huh. I think they could do a lot with this. You know, the front door's painted like a portrait.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. You have those in the hallways. You have interactive ones as well.
Awesome.
You know, Universal is very
That's
keen
your
to
room
employ
key.
live actors, so. Oh.
I like the idea. But yeah, There are like that you said, like Back to the Future and stuff like that. There's so many ideas.
Yeah. Now the only thing I would say is when I heard about the Star Wars one at Disney, I thought, hey, that sounds cool, but the amount that they were asking for it, I was like, no, okay, so that's something I'll never be able to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous, how far to go. So I think you have to strike a balance to where it's authentic and cool, to stay there, but at the same time reasonable as far as price goes. And if that means, getting, losing some of that immersion, I think you got to find the balance between the two.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing with the Star Wars one, from what I've heard, is it $650 a night. They're talking about it being with a minimum of a 2-night stay, but the big draw behind it is it's going to be a fully immersive experience. So the hotel itself is supposed to be the inside of a starship, is it? So when you look out of your hotel window, you'll see space going by. So there'll also be characters. So all the cast members wandering around the hotel itself will be in character, but you will be part of the overall story that's going on aboard that craft. Now, also from what I've heard is that hotel will go straight into, I'm going to just call it Star Wars Land. So the idea is that you've landed and you walk, which would be phenomenal.
Yeah. So are you going to see like stormtroopers running along the corridors? Are they the bellhops?
Possibly.
Well, yeah. It sounds like everybody will be in character that you interact with there. And also, like, the kids receive, like, missions. I'm sure not just kids. I'm sure anybody will be able to do it. Like, you receive missions to do around the resort during the day and stuff. It's like, it's a full experience there. Which is, like I said, it's really cool, but that price is very prohibitive.
Very.
For that price, I want Darth Vader himself for my room service.
Yes. Nope. Yeah, and every room looks out onto space, like Lee said, except for the Florida resident rooms, which look out upon the swamps of Dagobah.
There you go.
I've just realised what room service is going to be. That's little R2 units.
Yeah, those little robot things. Yep, definitely. I can guarantee you they'll use those.
Yeah. But as far as Universal doing something, if they did do it, it would have to be something that's going to compete with Star Wars, which I think DreamWorks or Back to the Future and all those won't.
No.
Right?
Sadly, no.
So it would have to be Potter. The problem is we all know how precious of her property JK is, and Warner Brothers for that matter. Everything has to go through them, and she's very much about keeping everything completely within the story. I can't remember, I was listening to a podcast today, I think it might have been Universal After Dark, I'm not sure, and they were talking about it and kind of saying that because of that reason, it probably wouldn't work, because you wouldn't walk into Hogwarts and have like a reception desk with like a hotel and people stood there with their phones out getting ready to check in and stuff. It would totally break that story of being in.
But you have that Muggle Wizarding World barrier getting into Diagon Alley.
Yeah, but the difference is it's part of the story. Like with Hogsmeade, the idea is Dumbledore's letting Muggles in to experience the Wizarding World. They would never open Hogwarts for people to be able to stay.
Does that have to be Hogwarts?
That's what people are going to want, though.
Got the leaky cauldron?
No, people would want Hogwarts. Also, if you think back to 2013 when we had our meet at the Hard Rock, I know things have changed a lot, but we had Rustagan there to talk. Who was senior vice president of Parks and Resorts at the time. It did a presentation on Cabana Bay, and they told us then that Cabana Bay was one of probably another 5 hotels that they were looking at building in the future.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember him stating at that point that an IP-based hotel was something they weren't even considering at that point, because they kind of wanted their hotels to have staying power. So for it to, we've seen it a little bit in the parks now that you base things on IPs, and after, as a rule, unless you find something like Potter that really does have that longevity, stuff gets old relatively quickly.
Right. You have to be really careful with what you do.
Yes.
How about a themed thing that's themed like a movie theater, where you've got the different films, like basically like posters on the walls that you walk into, and each one of those is a different like tower
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all themed on like that particular movie at the time. That's a thing that they could easily, if they had to switch one of those out for something else more current.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that they could do relatively easily. But then, you also have the overall theme of a movie theater. So you've got your usher as soon as you come in. Your tickets are, big movie tickets, each room when you go in, instead of like your typical, coffee and stuff, you've got popcorn and candy and stuff,
Yeah,
That
soda
would be cool.
fountain and yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty neat.
So if you stayed 2 nights, would that be a double feature?
Hey.
Nice.
I like that idea.
It is a tough one because I know they've sent surveys out, haven't they, sort of asking people about the Star Wars hotel.
Mm-hmm.
We get surveys all the time from Universal, and half of it never comes to fruition. But it's interesting that they're sort of testing the water with it. But as I say, it's not like they can pull the trigger on it. At the end of the day, if they go, right, this is something we want to have a look at, they've still got to go to Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling and go, look, we're looking at this.
Or whoever.
Potter's the obvious one.
It is.
Yeah, that's most likely what would happen if they did, for sure.
I think a
Or
Jurassic
Nintendo.
Park one would be amazing.
Yeah.
The big glass atrium in the center.
Oh gosh, yeah, that would be great, especially if
Make
they
it
did
like-
Jurassic World.
Yeah,
Actually,
and if
that
they
would
make
be
it,
really cool.
if they make it like a spa type hotel as well, so you've got a reason to stay within the hotel.
It would need
And
to
make
be
it a proper destination hotel. I think that would be better. to be quite
somewhere
honest.
just on the edge of City Walk, so it's like Jurassic World,
So you're looking down
like
over
near
it.
Margaritaville.
Yeah, but it'd need to be raised up
Yeah.
as well. So you have that vista view. Yes, you can see a volcano that way, which would fit with a Jurassic period.
Yeah, definitely.
You
And
can,
those
know.
sweet rooms that they had in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to stay there.
Yeah, but yeah, Nintendo as well, Darren. That would be. You could do both.
yeah.
Because Nintendo would obviously speak to your family market
Yeah.
more so than a Jurassic World one.
I don't
Andy
know.
would be all over
Kids
a Jurassic
and
World
dinosaurs.
one. True.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know kids, Lee.
I just don't know whether it's something they'd ever go down the route of doing, unless it was something that they outright owned. I think you're opening a can of worms that in what happens if, because I know when we talked about, I think we talked to Jim Hill, and that contract with Warner Brothers for the stuff in the parks for the Wizarding World was like was it an initial 10 years and then a 5-year rolling contract. So for all intents and purposes, they could turn round within the next sort of 5 years and go, do you know what? We don't think you're upholding it to the standards that we think you are, so we're pulling the license. What do they do then?
Ouch.
The Wacky
Cry.
Witch Academy. Come stay in the.
But it's such a, when you look at how much money they've ploughed into those two areas, Potter's on all the marketing, it's on, all your carrier bags of Potter and stuff. It's those parks are what they are now because of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I'm not saying they will, but it'd be interesting to see what would happen if they turned around and went, because we expect it at some point for Marvel. That's just a land.
Sure.
I don't think anyone would be that bothered about that. But when you're talking about your two biggest areas at Universal Orlando, it would be very interesting.
It would. That is for sure. Yeah, I don't know what they would do. They would just have to. Yeah, I have no idea. You'd have a lot of retheming to do.
You would, because it's not. You couldn't retro theme it. You couldn't go in and redo it, really, because it's all been done, especially diagonally from the ground up. Hogsmeade. What do you theme the castle to? I don't know. Be quite odd.
Any other castle?
Yeah.
Have some bats flying around it and turn it into a permanent Halloween land.
Yeah,
Darren's on board.
Frankenstein's castle.
Buy your pitchforks and
suppose.
flaming torches here.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, remember when this was Hogsmeade?
Yeah.
But it's not happening, so
No, but it will
Christmas
be.
World.
yeah.
What was that?
All
Christmas
Christmas,
World.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just move in.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think they'll do it.
I don't know.
But they're
Yeah.
obviously at least looking into it.
it's something that they'd be capable of doing, but I don't think personally I'd see them doing it on a full scale like that.
No.
I see it pulled back quite a bit, and just like lightly themed rooms and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If they go down that route, but the more and more I think about it, I want that Jurassic World one really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
Here's a question for the pair of you then. Would you rather they spend however much on a fully immersive Harry Potter hotel, but was relatively priced per night? So not too bad. A little bit more than Portofino and the Hard Rock, which saw, what are they, like two? I think the Portofino's like three summits. So say 360, 370 a night. Would you rather they built that or plough the money that they would use to build that? I'm thinking on my toes here.
I can tell.
To either add a new attraction to Universal Studios Florida or to go into Islands of Adventure and give it the TLC that it needs.
Islands.
I'd rather the money went into islands.
Yeah. I know Hunter's not here, but I know he would say exactly the same thing.
I love that park so much, and I want it to be back to its glory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I mean, Comcast does have like $2 quadrillion, so
yeah.
They could do both, yeah, but
they could do everything.
I suppose what you've got to look at is which one's going to bring the most amount of money in.
Titivate that park, though, it's going to bring more money in because
it depends what you put in there. I suppose what comes down to that. If they go right, we're going to pull the Lost Continent out. We're going to pull out Toon Lagoon. Do you know what? Let's go. Disney make us an offer. You can have Marvel, and then put 3 brand new lands in there. I think it's a conversation we should have on here at some point of what
the Blue Sky
properties you could put in there that are going to lift that park up to the standard it was when it opened.
Teen Titans Go.
Rick and Morty.
I'm
obsessed at the moment with that.
I know from last week's episode when we talked about Port of Entry, and the rest of those episodes are going to be coming along the pike. But I can't wait to get.
Do you mean pipe?
No, turnpike.
Oh. Fish?
Gary Goddard on to talk about his original concepts for Marvel Superhero Island and Zeus Landing that was supposed to be, it was Metropolis and Gotham with the Halls of Justice in the middle.
Yeah.
And
Zeus Landing was Gotham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
And it just looks amazing. I would settle for that now.
I wouldn't even be mad.
No, not at all. I'm a much bigger DC fan. But I think that would be fantastic. But anyway, there you go. So I've waffled enough.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that email, Paul.
Yes, we haven't heard from Paul for quite some time, actually. He used to send us in a lot.
Mm-hmm. That got us quite fired up. That's quite good. Right. Let's move on and head over and discuss the 5 hidden gems at Universal's Royal Pacific.
I like the segue there. Speaking of hotels.
Oh, that's a good segue. I should use that one. Shut up.
You didn't have to do that. You could have said, yes, that's what I meant.
I was sending it out psychically.
One we've all stayed in.
It is.
Yeah.
And a very nice hotel it is too.
Yeah, we've all stayed there. Yep. We all had an equal experience there. Yep.
Hey, Darren, you could have had our room if you wanted the child that went with it that never laid still all night.
Oh, good.
Right, let's start.
Take the swamp.
Yeah. The first hidden gem is the wok experience. Take a break from burgers and fries, which is sometimes quite difficult to do, and immerse yourself in the all-you-care-to-eat wok experience. I like how it's care now and not can, because it's not a challenge anymore.
No.
Yes. And
Isn't.
the all-you-care-to-eat wok experience. On select nights in Ireland's dining room, which looked very nice as I did briefly stick my head in, you can indulge in custom stir-fry dishes, an extensive salad bar, Asian-inspired soup station, not a stoop station, that's something completely different, a delectable dessert station, and more.
Okay, I did not know they did that there.
No, I did not either.
No.
That sounds nice.
It does. Especially the stoop station.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 2 is the torch lighting ceremony. On Saturday evening, sing along to the Oli Aloha welcome chant and get wrapped up in the sights and sounds of the poolside torch lighting ceremony. This complimentary event includes a fire dancer, hula dancer, and a ukulele player. You might even learn to do the hula yourself, Lee Malaby.
That's cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a nice little thing.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we've said this before, but not obviously because of this, but it's interesting that they do like an opening ceremony at the hotels, yet they don't really do anything at the parks.
No.
Yeah.
It's this is with hotels like this, it's a shame because to us a hotel is literally just somewhere to wash and sleep. So we miss out on all of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm in the parks at that point.
You know. Maybe now we're getting older and slowing down a bit, we might see a few more of these things.
Yeah, no. I find it. Number 3 is the sushi at the Orchid Court.
Oh, it was nice in there as well. Briefly stuck my head in.
Okay. The Orchid Court Lounge is a tucked away oasis in the hotel's lobby. Tempt your taste buds with one of the chef's specialty rolls or sip on a craft cocktail. This is the perfect spot to sit and relax after a busy day in the parks.
Yes, it was nice in there.
Not a huge fan of sushi.
I am. That's really good.
You don't have to have raw fish in it.
I'm just not really bothered by it.
Yeah, I like it.
And I don't drink, so the cocktails are no good for me.
More for me. And number 4 is something that I've always wanted to do, Lee Malaby.
Yes.
Wonderland Luau.
Why is everyone having a go at me tonight?
Because you've just got a target pinned on your head. The Wonderland Luau. Or Wonderland. I don't know how you pronounce that, really.
No, we can tell.
Wonderland.
The luau, anywhere. Who doesn't associate a trip to the Polynesian islands with a luau? Hands up. Anybody? Anybody?
Nope.
Lee, hand down.
Experience the tradition firsthand with an evening of authentic Polynesian food and entertainment. This weekly show is a memorable experience to add on to your vacation. Get ready to show off those hula skills when you get home, Lee Malaby.
What is it about me and hula?
We've seen the photos.
I don't know what you're on about. Am I missing out?
After everybody was fast asleep at the Royal Pacific, we saw hulaing late into the night.
We've seen security footage, haven't we, Darren?
Oh, yeah. I thought I'd got rid of it, damn it.
Our friend Derek Bergen procured it for us. Yeah, several men on the inside.
But yeah, the luau is something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews of it.
To be honest, I just want to do a luau anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, preferably not our backyard.
No.
But it just looks fun and relaxing at the same time. And
it's just they don't offer many dining experience Universal, really. You know, like everyone goes on about all the ones at Disney that they have those, you know, like the Hoop-de-Doo Review and Mickey's Backyard Barbecue and 50s Prime Time and Sci-Fi Dine. Universal don't really have anything that matches those things that Disney do. And it's such a shame because I love those experiences at Disney and I wish they would do more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they totally could.
Yeah, absolutely.
They fully have the ability to do that.
Because they've got one, haven't they just started one over, is it at Sapphire Falls? Like a carnival thing or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it 2 episodes ago, didn't we? Because I said to you, Darren, that you and Nina could go and do it for us.
Yeah.
Yep. We're just going to have to find some time when we can do it. It's on certain nights during the week, so a little tough. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, so we got number 5, beer flights at Jake's.
Woo!
Okay.
Get your fill of craft beer at Jake's American Bar. Boasting an impressive list of beers, you can even sip on their very own brew, Jake's American Red Lager. Enjoy an ice-cold pint of one of your favorites, or be adventurous and try some new brews in a beer flight. Jake's also hosts expertly paired beer dinners, as well as outdoor beer festivals on select nights throughout the year.
Well, if you like beer, there you go.
Chris Rock, we should get on this.
Yeah.
We were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah, I've heard that these are really good, the beer festivals that they put on there. I've seen a few of our friends going out there and checking that out, so...
But again,
only always hear good things.
Incorporate that into the next trip. I do like myself a good beer festival.
It's interesting how they do all these things at the hotels, but nothing inside the parks.
Do you think there'll be a little bit of advertising?
You know, there's one. What have you got in the parks? Like extra things. They've got the cinematic spectacular dessert thing.
Oh, I don't want those kind of things.
Yeah,
okay.
and the character breakfast that they do at Cafe La Bamba.
And Confisco, right?
No, they don't do the character breakfast there anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, when they started the one at Cafe La Bamba, they stopped the one at Confisco, which was
shame,
it was
that was amazing.
awesome. Oh yeah, they do the Christmas one there, don't they?
They do that at the Circus McGurkus.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, that's
that
where
used to be at
the Grinch
Confisco.
one is.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's strange that they've only got like 3 in the park, yet they have loads at all the hotels. It's strange.
Interesting. Yeah, different way of doing things.
Can you imagine what an in-park beer flight would be like if you're allowed to have Wizarding brews outside of the Wizarding World?
Just do
and your Duff beers and everything. I'd be dead.
You do the beer flight at NBC Sports Grill and Brew. It's 100.
I've done one beer flight.
Yeah, Germany.
In Germany.
At Epcot, by the way.
But because... Yeah, I was only 9 when I went to Germany, so it definitely wasn't then.
Well, I mean, I think it's still allowed there.
I mean, these Europeans and their lax rules.
Yeah, 9 is fine.
She's not driving, right?
And because the woman and her daughter next to us on the table were just talking to me all the time, all of a sudden everybody's finished eating. I've had hardly anything, and I've still got these 4 beers sat in front of me. I'm also doped up on Dayquil. So I just downed these 4 beers.
God, that was the first day you were on Dayquil as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think the Dayquil was probably the primary thing there.
Probably.
Less the beer flight, more the Dayquil.
What? I'd also had something else previously as well. Yeah.
That was the day after the kitchen challenge.
That was interesting.
Oh, boy.
And so we've been through our 5 hidden gems at the Royal Pacific, which all sound really good to me.
It is a really nice hotel.
It's lovely. It is. It's a more grown-up hotel.
Darren, your opinion of it's tainted by the crappy room you had.
The lobby was awesome. I like that little place out in the middle of like the courtyard kind of thing they have there too. That was really nice.
I actually liked the walk to the parks on the morning.
It was lovely.
Yeah. It got you pumped more because you were walking through like lush greenery and by the water taxis, and you could kind of see the park in the background. It got you pumped more for going into the parks than it does walking through the parking lot and stuff.
Yeah. So if that has you wanted to book a stay, check out this ad from our sponsors.
Hey you, that's right, you. Doesn't listening to the crew at UUOP every week make you wish that you were actually at Universal Orlando Resort? Well, stop wishing and start doing. Mouse and Muggle Travel Company is the perfect place to begin. Their team of concierge-level travel planners will help you every step of the way. From finding the right fit for your family and budget to customized itineraries and insider tips. They can handle it all. Even if a hiccup that is up to no good arises during your trip, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company will manage the mischief for you. And for you muggles who also love the mouse, their team of experts specialize in Disney destinations too. And the best part of all, their services are free to you. So, if you're ready to plan your next Disney or Universal vacation, let Mouse and Muggle Travel Company do all the work for you. Just go to mouseandmuggle.com and fill out a no-obligation quote request. Or send an email to info@mouseandmuggle.com. It's that simple. So what are you waiting for? Just raise your wand and repeat after me. Accio, phone. Didn't work? Muggles. Here, try some pixie dust instead. And remember, whether you're a mouse or a muggle, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company can help make your next vacation simply magical.
Okay then, Universal Orlando have announced that beginning yesterday, which is August the 14th, and running through until September the 30th, annual pass holders will receive the following benefits. Darren?
Yes, the first one is 1 hour early park admission to Volcano Bay, so you can finally have your opportunity to get in there for the first time.
Excellent.
We were speaking of Volcano Bay a little, we were watching Tim Tracker's video, most recent one last week. Jesus, that park is busy.
Yeah.
There was a queue, 15 people deep, just waiting to get into the lazy river.
Wow.
But it wasn't a queue because it's wide. And you kind of all walk. It was like about 15 wide as well as 15 deep.
Like he left mid-afternoon.
It was a crowd.
And the two main rides were like 250 and 260 minutes.
Oh, that's all I want is to be in the lazy river and just have somebody else's feet creep up next to my face.
Oh my God. I'm having nightmares.
I know a good friend of the show, Mr. Lucas, is there in about a week and a half's time. I'll be very interested to hear his take on it all.
Yeah, because I'm picturing those like the water parks they have in China. I don't know if you've seen the pictures.
Seen them.
Yes.
And then the wave machine.
The wave machine where like 5 people die every day here. It's like totally normal.
It does.
It's like a hooker duck pool.
I was going to say, it looks like you'd only see garbage things in the sea. That's what it kind of looks like. Just
like
all this.
Like the garbage pod in Star Wars.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah,
just with people.
This is like a whole mass of just people. That's all it is. It's like I don't even know if there's water in there.
Ugh.
Probably isn't, but we've said that before.
Nasty. Yeah.
But that's what I'm picturing. I hope it's not quite that bad. I think that's why they close it down.
I'd just walk in. Do you get? I can't remember the Tapu Tapu. Can you attach a credit card to that?
Yes.
I'd just be like, right.
Because it's called Tap to Pay.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Don't look at me like that. Anyway, I just say, you see that thing? Keep swiping that and keep the drinks coming. I just go to the bar and turn me back on all of that. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You won't have any decent food now either.
No.
I heard some of the things were coming back.
Oh, good.
Okay.
They actually responded to some of the criticism there.
I think the rumours going around is that because it's so busy, they've dumbed down the menu just so it's easier to get the food out hot and quick, so people aren't
because
waiting.
It's so busy and
yeah,
okay.
So once we get into quieter times of the year, it may come back a bit more.
Maybe we're going to see 2 different menus for the season.
Maybe.
I think maybe they need to drop out some of the more really basic stuff because there's a lot of very basic stuff. And add
but
some
certain
stuff
people
in.
want that though, don't they?
Yeah, but certain people will.
Think about when we went to Florida with the kids the first time. Jade ate out but peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yep.
Literally nothing but.
She was happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, number 2. Access to one of 2 exclusive Universal Orlando annual pass holder event nights. They'll be held on August the 27th and August the 31st this year.
Thursday night and Sunday night, by the way.
Is that what it is? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which means we can't do either of them.
Oh,
Darren, that was the one you did you got your VIP tour on last time, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh, man.
So, somewhere on that.
Yeah.
I think they set it up purposefully so we didn't win again or something.
These events will allow pass holders access to all of Islands of Adventure with the exception of the Lost Continent.
Yes, because it's now there.
That's a bit odd, though.
Well, because you're only going to think you've got Poseidon and Sinbad. So they're not going to put shows of Sinbad on.
Well, no, I suppose not.
That's what pass holders want.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, guests must sign up on the pass holders page as of recording. Registration is not available but could be up today.
It is.
Which is Tuesday. Actually. There you go. Yeah. So, it should be available this week then. Yeah.
I was talking to Matt Corn yesterday about it, and he said it'll. Did you say it was up now, Darren?
Yeah, it's already up.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. They sent me an email and everything.
Oh, well, there you go then.
And it's probably already full, I'm guessing, by the time this comes out. But give it a shot anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, number 3 is at the Royal Pacific Resort, guests will receive 20% off each. Well, that one to luau adult ticket from August 5th through September 30th.
Interesting. 20% is quite a lot, actually.
It is, actually.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. At number 4 is at Sapphire Falls. You can get specialty rates as low as $109 a night plus tax from August the 13th to September the 28th.
That's good.
That's a good span. That's a good 6 weeks as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Maybe, well, depending on what it is for my birthday weekend, maybe I'll stay a night there.
Oh, yeah.
If I wanted to.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Number 5 is the exclusive UOAP discount on 2 night after 4 p.m. and 1 night after 4 p.m. Rock the Universe tickets. So enjoy those.
Hunter.
Yeah. Number 6. Purchase 2 Park Express for $54.99 plus tax, or 2 Park Unlimited Express for $79.99 plus tax from August 20th to September 30th, but it's not valid for Volcano Bay.
Okay, that's interesting.
That
Darren, do you get Unlimited Express after 4 o'clock on yours, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Excuse me, not unlimited. One ride, 1 per ride.
All right. No, that's not bad then. 79. It's one of those things. I wonder how many annual pass holders buy Express Pass, because if you're a local who's got APs, then you do what we used to do when we used to go to our local theme park. And I think you and Hunter have both sort of said the same. You get to a point where you go that often, where you go, 20 minutes? Nah, I'll just do it next time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you end up riding nothing because you won't wait for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like we do is sometimes we'll get there later on in the afternoon, and we get there like right at like 3 o'clock. So at 4 o'clock, our express passes start.
Yeah.
That's cool for that. But if we're going during the day, yeah, we're a lot more selective of what we'll wait in for sure.
Any plans to go back, Darren, by the way? It's been a while since you've been, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, sure. Anytime.
And I was talking to Nina about it the other day, and she's like, me and Darren have just become old now. We're too tired to go out and do anything.
Yeah, it's 8,000 degrees outside right now.
Yeah.
Surface of the sun. And then every time we're like, oh, let's do it. And then I look at the forecast. It's going to rain in the afternoon when we'll be there. So it's like, do we want to do this? But yeah, we definitely have to get back out there because we're paying for.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the biggest thing, isn't it? Yeah.
So we definitely have to get out there soon. And we'll be there a lot during horror nights. So.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
For sure. Number 7 here. Valid pass holders will receive discounted Blue Man Group show tickets August 22nd through October 1st.
Not bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Number 8. Starting August the 14th and running through until September 30th, grab the exclusive UOAP flavour at Coastal Creamery on Universal City Walk. This perfect mixture of caramel batter. Caramel? That's because it's underneath the line of it. This perfect mixture of cake batter, ice cream, brownies, and caramel.
Okay.
That's a bad sentence.
Now, does that mean, I remember putting this down off the pass holder page. Does that mean you can only get that flavour if you're an annual pass holder?
No, you can get it no matter what.
But it says exclusive UOAP flavour.
Maybe it's
free.
Well,
Cold Stone, you can pick whatever ingredients you want and they'll make it for you. So
I suppose, if you know what it is, you can just go, I want that, and that.
Yeah.
You're like, you can't have that. You're not an annual pass holder.
Yeah, you cannot have that.
Right, then I'll have caramel,
soup for you.
and ice cream.
If you are an annual pass holder, are you allowed any other flavour?
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That sounds good to me, though. And number 9 is a free digital photo at select attractions from August 14th through September 30th, and discounted My Universal Photos annual photo package. Wonder how discounted that's going to be.
Yeah, because I remember you getting it, Darren. It was for nothing, wasn't it?
$50.
Did you pay $50? Yeah, that was unreal.
For a full year. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Wow. It's another.
I suppose when you think about it, though, it's only transferring a digital file.
It is, but even so, it doesn't stop everybody charging a fortune for it. But then again, I look at Universal.
I know, it's not like you're getting printed out photographs, is what I'm saying.
You do, I think, as part. Don't you get one?
You get one, yeah.
But it's another thing where I think Universal sort of pale in comparison to Disney. They've got that photo pass thing there, but there's never a lot of photographers in the park. If you take your ride photos out of it, there's not a lot of photographers in the park. Like, gone are the days, after, at least when we've been over the last few times, where you'd have a photographer in front of the lighthouse at Islands of Adventure.
Globe, yeah.
There's usually one in front of the first bridge where the adventure begins. But I always wanted one in front of Islands of Adventure with a lighthouse in the background. And I think we saw them there once.
Yeah, more recently, I've seen them there more often and more around the park. But yeah, I mean, compared to Disney, they're definitely lacking no matter what.
Yeah,
so.
Like a lot of the characters don't even have them,
which is odd.
Unless it's like the Transformers one or the Donkey one. As far as I'm aware, none of the other ones do. Like even like the Simpsons or Scooby Doo or them, they don't have an official photographer. And I think if they want people to buy that photo package, then they've got to give people more of a reason to do it. Because haven't they taken out the couch gag thing over in Springfield now as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not there anymore.
And that was, well, the guy that did ours was pretty poor, to be honest.
Oh,
it was a bit ropey, but it was still a cool thing if you got it
nice
done.
Little gimmick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Number 10. Buy one Universal Dining Plan, quick service, and get 50% off a second plan.
That might be worth it for a day.
Yeah.
That's your challenge, is get your money's worth.
Oh, I'd do that.
That'll make it easier.
Yeah.
50% off the other. Yeah.
Because there's some pretty... I think the quick service options in the parks aren't bad, actually. Darren, what's Fast Food Boulevard classed as? Is that classed as quick service?
Yeah, that's quick service.
Oh my God, I would film. I'd just sitting there all day.
Yeah.
Just give me one. I'll have
One
a
of
chicken
each.
waffle, then I'll have a clogger, then I'll have just a normal
Crusty
one, and then I'll have a
burger.
rib witch, and then just keep the drinks coming.
Heat lamp dog. Yep. Oh, man. Yeah. I could.
That's it. I don't think it's unlimited, the dining plan there anyway,
No.
but it should be. I think that one didn't SeaWorld do one a couple of years ago where you could pay and it was like nothing. It was only something like $70 for the year, and you could dine. I think it was free after 3:00 for the entire year. So I know people who were going and just having the dinner there on a night just because they paid for it.
I know somebody that was traveling quite a distance to go there every night for dinner.
Really?
So, yep. Yeah, one of our good friends of the show that's taking us on an RIP tour or two.
Oh.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
It's cheaper than making your own dinner every night or going out somewhere every night.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Ride a couple of rides while you're there because you've obviously, you're on your pass and you're done.
We've had some good food in there.
Actually, the food at SeaWorld is really good.
Seafire Inn's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we did the Dine with Shamu thing when we were there in
that
2013. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, that food was amazing.
So good, and it wasn't expensive either.
Yeah. Yeah, when we went, we did the quick service by the Penguin experience, that whole thing. And even that was like, they had like the 4 or 5 different stations of food from all over the place, and that was really good too.
Yeah,
so.
we ate in there before, and you're right, it is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the food
and the Penguin came in while we were eating and took pictures with us, so awesome.
The Penguin took pictures?
It was there.
Yes.
A real penguin. Yeah, some pretty decent.
So, yes.
It's good to see that they are still looking after their annual pass holders, because I know a lot of Disney fans have complained about Disney taking away the benefits of their annual passes over the last few years. So it's good to see that Universal are still looking after theirs.
Yep, definitely.
Absolutely. Right, we are going to leave the appreciation behind, and we are going to head over and listen to a live report from Volcano Bay by Producers Club member Ron Vysotsky, and this was recorded on opening weekend.
Yeah, I'll apologise, Ron. I found this just nosing through folders on my laptop the other night, and I went, I didn't even know I had that.
Shocking.
This is UUOP member Ron Vysotsky from Shreveport, Louisiana. We are at Volcano Bay on Saturday, the first opening Saturday, also known as Mass Human Bay. It's fairly packed, but it's still an awesome experience if I had to describe it. I'm here with my family. I've got Emma.
Hello.
Eric.
Hello.
My wife Lynette.
Hey, everybody.
Holly.
Hi.
And Hayden.
Hey.
Hayden, Holly, Eric, and Emma are in their 20s, and my wife and I are not. But this is an awesome park so far. I'll just tell you how we did it. We stayed at the Hard Rock Hotel, or we're staying at the Hard Rock Hotel. This is our 6th day of vacation, and they had early entry for the park, so we left our room at 7:30, took the bus over here, and at 8 o'clock we were in the park. What I did 2 months ago was reserve a cabana which if you look online, it says 159 starting. You're not even going to get close to 159. Ours was triple that.
Whoa.
And I kind of gritted my teeth and did it thinking that was a lot, and it is. But once you get here, and if you're spending the whole day here, it is so worth it. We have a cabana right next to the volcano, fruit trays, water all day, personal service from any of the restaurants. The attendants are fantastic. We ran into a little snafu this morning where they put us in the wrong cabana that did not have a locker or a refrigerator. The manager came over, was extremely nice, and I don't mind little snafus as long as I know the customer service people are working really hard to try to fix it, which they were. They were so attentive. They moved us to a fantastic cabana. And the reason I'm pushing the cabanas is, even though it might seem pricey, it's so worth it because we're going to be here from 8 in the morning to 8 when it closes. A word of caution, though, they are sold out for a couple months. So if you're coming here and you want a cabana, you might want to get online and start making reservations. And unfortunately, the pricing is based on demand. So I think the only time it's going to be 159 might be when they get snow here in the middle of January, which they don't ever get snow. But as far as the water park, you're having really no issues. A couple of the rides are, the Krakatoa roller coaster is going to be down for 2 hours. We've had to wait in line a little bit for one of them. The Tapu Tapu system is fairly interesting. It's not really getting us on the rides any quicker, obviously, but what it's allowing us to do is come back at a specific time or any time after that specific time to ride the ride, and then we can do other stuff while we're waiting. So we did the Lazy River, or I think it's called the Fearless River, and it's kind of, once you come back for your time, I would equate it to waiting in line with Universal Express, because you're still going to wait in line, but the wait time is down. So on a day as crowded as it is today, when we come back with the Tapu Tapu and go to the ride, we're still waiting about 20 minutes to get on the ride. But my son has done and I don't know all the names yet, but the big drop from the volcano, he said it was pretty awesome. He felt like he was just falling. He's in the Army, so I don't think he was that scared of it, but it's not for the faint of heart. And we've done some of the other water rides around here, the flume rides, and so all in all, I say it's an awesome experience. But like everything else, you might want to plan what you're going to do before you get here. Don't think you're going to show up and be able to rent a private chair or a private cabana, because those things are sold out. So I'll be checking on the UUOP Facebook. So if anybody has any questions about Volcano Bay, I'll certainly share my experience with them. So reporting live, not really, but I've always just wanted to say that, from Volcano Bay, signing off. Hope you have a great day, and we are trying to vacation like we mean it. So talk to you soon. Bye.
Oh, that was brilliant.
I've got a question for you. When is that park going to get itself sorted out?
Well,
it will. It's very early days.
It might be doing better by now. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
As I said, judging by the videos, the latest Tim Tracker video that we watched, it ain't.
Yeah.
No. It's nice to know that customer services worked hard to get the cabana sorted out for them.
It is, like I say again, I'm going to be very interested to hear what... I might actually sit down with Craig and do a 10-minute little interview with him about how it went, because I know he's got an interesting little thing that they're dealing with. So before they went, he booked one of those cabanas, a 6-person cabana, but there's 8 of them.
Oh, yes.
One of them's, I think, a 7-year-old, and one is a baby. Now, apparently, when they go to Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon at Disney, they can hire like a 6-person cabana, but then they can pay an extra $25 per person, and they'll basically just stick them an extra chair in for those 2 extra people. So Craig rang guest services, but obviously this was when the park first opened, and said, look, we've got... there's 8 of us, but 2 of which one's a baby and one's a 7-year-old, and they basically went, you can't put any more than 6 people in there. Now, again, I was talking to Matt Korn about it, and he said that he got told the exact same thing. If you want to put 8 people, you have to get a 16-person cabana.
That's crazy, especially...
How much did he say he paid? He said they start at $159 Ron there, and they paid triple that. Holy crap.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah.
But I think me and you have talked about it the last few days. Until they see a drop in attendance, there's no reason for them to do anything. You can understand the mentality of why should we change things when it's rammed to the gills every day.
Yeah.
True.
Mm.
You know, when it drops off because of the negative publicity, that's when you kind of think.
The problem is, though, people
something.
have already been planning this for, especially from the UK, for a year, 18 months. How many of them are going to change the plans?
Yeah, but that's a small percentage of the people that are going. Is that UK market who've been planning this for that long?
I'm just saying, you know, from here, so and people who are travelling from Australia, the continent, anywhere, they've also been planning for some time.
But I have not seen a day since opening weekend where it wasn't at capacity.
You know, that's what I'm saying. If you've been planning it, though, are you then going to go, I'm not going to go? Are you still going to go?
Depends whether you've already bought your tickets.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, it's it's one of those things. What are they chasing more? Customer satisfaction or the dollar?
The dollar, obviously.
And it's ultimately that isn't going to do them any good.
But then I suppose you can always look at it from the point of view that you're never going to iron out your creases unless it is. You need it to run at capacity because that's when you see where all the problems come in.
Well, the park should have been finished then.
It's finished, but it is now, and they're still having those problems. It doesn't matter. You still need it to be at capacity. If you run it at half capacity, you're not going to notice those problems as much.
No.
So you ram it full. That's when people start complaining. That's when you know what you need to fix. And maybe once the quiet times come in, I mean, I've said Darren and Hunter as well. You know, when you both feel that it's at a point where you want to go and experience it, where you feel it's kind of sorted itself out enough, where you're gonna get the value for the money out of it to go along and check it out, and then get Seth back on, and then have like a round table with you three, sort of discussing, obviously, what he's seen it change since it opened, because obviously he was there opening weekend, and then your opinion of it, sort of sat back watching it for the last however many months, and go from there, because it is such a, Universal have never done this before.
Very true.
It's such a weird thing. I mean, if we were going over now,
I'd be very concerned.
Would I be looking at going? I don't know. It's such from our point of view, yes, we'd have to, but I would be very wary of what sort of experience I was going to have.
I'd be stressed to high heaven and not looking forward. You know me. This is what I'd be like. I don't do water anywhere.
No, exactly, and that wouldn't help. But yeah. But then I've still seen loads of people in the pass holder group say, "No, it's phenomenal," and we really enjoyed it. And I don't know. I think it depends what your tolerance level for stress is and what you expect. I think too many people went in with a tapu, this queueless system, and expected to not wait in a line. And
well, it kind of was sold that way.
No, it never was. It's a queueless system. The idea is that the ride time's 2 hours. So you come back into it, but you were never gonna it was never gonna be a point where you book your time and you walk onto the ride at that point.
Yeah, Express isn't
I think the
like
ads
that.
literally say no lines.
Oh, that is true. You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was
Tracy,
going to say, it's kind of like Express Pass, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. It did thinking
But it
about
did, yeah?
it, but it can't. That's
I know it's impossible.
That's impossible. It can't be that.
Otherwise, you stand by. Do they have standby lines? Can't remember.
Some of them do. Some of
I was
them
going to say,
don't.
otherwise, your standby line would never move.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's to think of where you've got 5,000 people in a theme park, even if it's a water park or just a normal theme park, for you to book your time and think that you're going to walk straight onto that attraction, it's not going to happen. Effectively, what it is, it's like how Express Pass and how Fast Pass kind of used to work. So you book your time, you go back at that time, and then however many other people had that time booked, then you'd queue that. So you might be queuing 20 minutes. So when people are seeing 220-minute wait times, but you're not stood in a line for 220 minutes. You might be waiting, eating or going in a lazy river or riding some of the ones that you can get on there and then you might go and queue that 20-25 minutes. But yeah, you're right. I don't know. It's a new concept that no one. Well, look at the teething troubles Disney had with.
Of course,
my Disney experience.
There was never ever going to be no teething troubles.
No, but we've always said on here we like the way that Universal sit back, watch what Disney do, and as a rule, roll it out problem free. Yeah.
But also when you look at how much things like vlogging and podcasts have come on just in the last 4 or 5 years. People are much more vocal.
Social media as well.
Because of that now. And so you are hearing a lot more.
And it's always the complainers that speak the loudest.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
Exactly. So, it's only been open how long? It's not long.
No, maybe 8 or 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, was it Labour Day weekend, was it,
Yeah,
Darren?
I think
no,
so.
Is that right?
Sure. I don't know.
A Memorial Day weekend.
It was some special weekend that we don't
like,
celebrate.
I don't know, I'm not interested in going yet.
So it hasn't even, hopping back firmly on the fence. It's not been open long enough, really, to start giving it a fair. Review's the wrong word, but I'll use that.
Very quiet.
I just don't really care about it at all.
I must admit,
not in the slightest.
I was laughing when Lee did say that when you felt you wanted to go. I was thinking, well, we'll probably get out there before that happens then.
I was like, maybe you should get yourself a Sunday instead.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying go and ride rides, Darren. Just go and experience the park. Do the park how you feel you would want to do it. I'm not going to be like, right, I'm going to pay for you to get in and I want you to ride everything.
I'm going to be like, well, I accidentally spent all the money in Sapphire Falls in the rum bar. Sorry about that.
I wouldn't even be upset.
I had a great view of the volcano, though, from there, and it was great.
From one disappointment to another.
Hey.
Darren, I believe you have some Halloween Horror Nights news for us, but I also believe there's a bit of an announcement as well.
Yeah. This was going to start off as us bad-mouthing Universal and Horror Nights for their social media, but it seems like it has been rescued by somebody. We'll see what happens in the next few days. But originally, there was a lot of disappointment surrounding Halloween Horror Nights on August 3rd as the website's countdown reached its conclusion after a month. And many people were expecting, at the very least, the original house lineup, scare zone reveal, something, any kind of reveal, anything at all. Well, we did not get the lineup of original houses, the rest of the IP houses, not even shows or scare zones or anything. What you got there was a wallpaper and sweepstakes to win a 4-day, 3-night vacation for 2.
That we can't even enter.
That is only available for people in the United States.
Tut.
So
there was a lot of hate going around on Twitter that day.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really bad. And then, of course, the Universal White Knights decided that they were going to come out and defend the corporation. Which, okay, I guess if that's what you want to do, it seems bizarre to me, but okay. Yeah, Horror Nights fans coming back and saying, well, they don't owe you anything. They don't have to reveal anything. Yeah, but you know what? It makes it fun. It makes the ramp up to the event exciting. Like, it gets you hyped up for it.
Yeah,
I was going to say, you create that hype and more people are going to want to go.
Yeah, it's a weird one because I think prior to us starting the podcast, it was just done in one big dump. And then they've kind of, over the last 4 or 5 years, it's become a real big tease and slow sort of leak out of this is what we're going to be every year. And that's what everyone's come to expect. And then when they don't do that, it's like, oh, how dare you? And so I see both sides of it. But
part of it is like a concerned feeling.
Yes.
Because, like it's a lot of things you hear, a lot of rumors about things that were supposed to be here that aren't going to be here, a lot of changes that have had to happen on the fly. And you just wonder, like, why can't they announce as much? And even on the Twitter account, whoever took over, I don't know who it is, but whoever took over the account since then, like, actually retweeted something I did. I tweeted to them and then said, like, and basically was implying that, like, they tweeted that they were going to have things coming out over the next several weeks. And I kind of expressed some disappointment in the several weeks part of that statement. And they replied back in a way that they were kind of feeling the same way.
Oh.
Like someone else was, holding their hand, like not there's something
Right.
that's preventing them from
Okay.
giving out the information or something to that effect.
That's the problem.
That's what it felt like.
You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's funny, I was thinking about it on the way home from work tonight because we always put up our Halloween Horror Nights history episodes on the run-up to Halloween Horror Nights, and I need to start thinking about getting the script ready to finish off re-editing for the one going out on opening night this night. And obviously I can't do that yet because normally it's recorded, sat ready, scheduled and ready to go, and I can't because I don't know what this year's lineup is.
Yep.
Like they haven't even everybody knows Bill and Ted's coming this year. Everybody knows because it every year. They haven't even announced that. Like just give us that. At least it's something.
This ball has definitely been dropped this year.
It's again, I will play devil's advocate and say you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Everyone's assuming it's just like, the marketing team are a bunch of idiots and don't know what they're doing, or it's because Mike's not the head of the team anymore. But you just don't know.
No, you don't.
I think we've kind of talked about it on the show before. Darren, you've got to agree that every year doing Horror Nights, it has to be harder for them because that pool of IPs that they're pulling from has got to be shallower and shallower every year.
Well, yeah, you can see that clearly by them redoing houses.
Yeah.
That they have in the past.
It's got to be tough.
It's a shame that somebody feels like they have to rely on those IP houses, though, because their original houses tend to be better, in my opinion. So,
do you know what they could do? Have literally from the end of one Halloween season ending, spend 2 or 3 months polling people, right? Polling the people
who usually do.
Polling the people who've been. Find out what the fan favourite houses and zones are, and do a year where it's all chosen by the fans. That'll be awesome.
Apparently, that's what 25 was, from what I heard.
Chosen by the fans?
Pretty much.
Oh, there you go. Then.
A lot of it was from a certain person we had on the show just after Christmas. Had a big hand in it, apparently.
Okay.
Damn.
Not entirely what you were saying, but
you know.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny because that day, Hollow Scream kind of capitalized on the disappointment there.
Absolutely.
And did a quick little live stream and showed, some work being done on their houses, which they actually have been doing ahead of time as well. They go on Snapchat and they'll just put some things out. When they were shooting their commercial for this year, they had that on Snapchat and they were like showing like the Wolfman eating craft services afterwards, like trying to eat macaroni and cheese without getting it in his hair, which was pretty funny. Like they had, all kinds of different little videos and stuff that they've been putting out constantly, which is the kind of thing that fans want to see,
Yeah.
They also did the auditions. They did a live thing of that, but they revealed that same day that Horror Nights, the countdown, nothing happened. They revealed that one of their new houses, Demented Dimensions, which looks like a Twilight Zone kind of house, they kind of capitalized on that, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, they Universal kind of came back at people that were expressing their disappointment in a way that I thought kind of crossed some lines.
Really?
And just went to the point where it was not tasteful. Like kind of like replying back like to people that were obviously very disappointed by everything and just like replying back like, you mad bro, and like stuff like that. Like not even staying in the character of Horror Nights at all. And I think that's where it finally got to the point where somebody pulled the plug on them, because after that we heard nothing for a very long time. And then what was it? Friday? It was Friday night. That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Super late Friday night at like 10:30 at night. Somebody got on the official Horror Nights page and started tweeting pictures of the some details in some of the houses. 2 originals and also Ash vs. Evil Dead and The Shining. The typewriter from The Shining was in there as well. So, and they kind of said something like, we hear you, our fans are very passionate kind of thing. Thanks for sticking with us. It does make it sound like it's under duress that these announcements aren't coming. It's definitely interesting. Some people thought it was Mike Aiello taking over. I don't know. I don't think it was him. I think it was either Patrick Braillard or even maybe Matt Korn, possibly.
Yeah.
And in either case, I mean, somebody needed to get a better handle on the social media and And like I said, because it was straight up, if you go, you can still look at the replies that they put out at that time, and they were pretty rough on some of their biggest fans.
Oh, that's not right.
See,
I don't know who it was because it wasn't somebody that I know, so I can't remember the name. And it was just, it's not often I'm actually on Twitter myself. Mm-hmm. And it was one that I saw, and somebody had put that it was almost as if the fans are really invested in Halloween Horror Nights, but that investment wasn't reciprocated. That's how it feels this year. You fans don't really matter. That's what somebody had basically put. Mm-hmm. Why are we invested in you when you're not invested in us? And without the people going through the gates, they don't have an event. And people are expecting that build-up. So...
Who's expecting the build-up? The people like us who are on it all the time. The general public, I don't think, do.
I think the people who go year after year...
I would say 60% of those people going through those gates don't have any really care about what's being announced or anything, though. And then the rest, really,
I think
Darren, honestly, right?
I still think it's important. I think it's very important because the people like us are the people that get other people to go.
Yeah, even if it's only 10% of us that are passionate like this, we're the ones that are talking about it. And I'm not just talking about the people with podcasts. I'm talking about the fans that would want to go. Because even if we didn't do this podcast, we'd still be following what was going on.
That's debatable because I don't think we did until we started this. Not even the year we went.
Okay, if we stop doing the podcast, but, stop being so much of a devil's advocate.
Darren, here's a question for you then. What would it take for you to not go?
If I was doing the podcast or if I wasn't doing the podcast?
As of now. Even if I said, Darren, look, it's up to you. I'm not going to force you to go every year for the Dead Man's Digest or whatever. You do pull the plug on it, whatever. You don't have to cover it if you don't want to. What would it take for you to not go?
Houses that I didn't want to see there, probably. Or just like, I don't know, them going too far over a line. It's nothing I can say definitively where that line is, but it's something I can feel that at some point, obviously, if money is a concern, if I didn't have if I didn't have the show like as a requirement for me to go out there and get the reviews done and everything like that, then there would absolutely be a line. I can't tell you exactly where it is, but there would be a line where I would say, no, I'm going to go hang out at Hollowscream this year.
I think there has to be.
See, for me, the houses they're not completely irrelevant, but that's not the main reason that I would want to go. I think whatever the houses are, like I said, the first year when we went that first year, I didn't even know what the hell it was.
No, I just got dragged along.
Okay,
basically.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, and because of that, I would still want to go every year. And I think.
Did you base your trip that year around going to Horror Nights?
No, we'd already booked and everything was planned, and then Lee just fell across this.
Yeah, well, that's.
I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and.
You've got people coming from other countries. You've got people coming from other parts of the United States that it does matter to them. Like it's going to cost a plane ticket. It's going to cost a lot of stuff for them to go exclusive. I mean, they're coming here primarily for Horror Nights.
Yeah, we know people who are going literally just for Horror Nights.
Yeah, but then it still wouldn't stop me. I don't. At this point, if I was going to Horror Nights, I would be like, I'm going. It doesn't matter what they announce now.
So you're saying there isn't a line?
As long as they could take
pardon my French, but they could take the out of you and you'd still go.
That's not taking not announcing houses. Is not, as long as the houses were...
I'm just wondering what your line is.
As long as they still did 9 houses, 5 scare zones, and they were still up to the standard of quality that I expect from Halloween Horror Nights, and they didn't ram the price of the tickets through the roof, which they don't over here. We get decent tickets.
But now you are drawing your line there.
Not really.
You are. You're saying it has to be of a certain standard.
No, because that's the standard I expect from them. What everyone's... the complaint that everyone is making is, you're not telling me what they are. Everyone knows that the standard of those houses will be as good as they've always been.
We hope.
They will be, because they always are.
Okay, then to devil's advocate yours, then what if somebody who really does not like The Walking Dead and they decide to go here's the whole park in The Walking Dead again?
Do you know, I was just going to say the same thing, Darren.
I would not have gone that year if it wasn't for being on the show. Honestly, I would not have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good point.
That would have been a year I would have skipped.
I will concede that one to you.
if it gets too commercial like that. If I was not on the show, if I was just a regular fan, and I looked in and I saw a bunch of the houses they were doing are old repeats of houses they've already done.
Mm-hmm.
And they're asking me to pay over $100 a night to go see them.
Yeah.
On some nights. Those are the kind of things. But the real disappointment can't happen until the event actually happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by that point, they got your money anyway. But I mean, like if I go and I see the houses are actually substandard, like not as much as not the same standard of work isn't going into them as they used to. And, they're just mainly IP houses that they're using just to, get their licenses out and that kind of thing.
I'd like to see more original.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered either way. I just want to go.
Well, I know it's a moot point for us.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, this kind of thing won't stop people from going, but it does kind of bum out the anticipation that time we have ahead of time, which is something that they've gotten us used to.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, they've made a rod for their own back. They've spoiled us over the years with all these announcements.
And that's the problem.
And that's the problem. They've made a rod for their own back, and you can't. It's like having a kid. You can't suddenly backtrack on stuff.
Yeah.
People's, complaints.
You
are
have
made.
given me an expectation of how this is going to go every year, and this year you haven't lived up to what you've given me to expect.
Yeah. They need to manage that expectation better and not bitch back.
And there's also kind of like a deteriorating of it over time because you started off with these really advanced ARGs, hidden things on the websites and stuff like that they purposely did, which obviously was a very dedicated marketing team working very closely with the creative team to make those kind of things. And as you've seen over the years, that goes away and goes away and goes away until the last thing we kind of have that they were giving us were our announcements, like ahead of time so that we could talk about them and discuss them amongst ourselves, or little clues or hints, or even the code names that they used to give us. We didn't get those this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got one, didn't we? Because I know Chris was talking about when we were there yesterday, the checkmate one, because he was hoping it was going to be the thing, wasn't he?
Yes.
Okay, so we got one at the very beginning of the year. So.
Yeah. Well, here's another question for you then. Oh, we're going way long, but this is too juicy. I'm quite enjoying this. It's nice actually we got a decent debate going.
I've got a question as well.
Darren, in your heart of hearts, do you feel this is because Mike has stepped away a little bit?
Yeah, well, I think it's a combination of Mike stepping away and marketing just taking over more than they used to as far as the whole event goes, because I've seen like behind closed doors, rumblings and stuff of the creative team, having a hard time with creative in these kind of things.
Okay.
And some of the choices that have been made and some of the obvious things, where things have fallen apart. Like I can tell you about the Scream House, specifically is the Scream House. There's obviously the creative team is working on something. Somebody told them to work on something that way. And that's, the marketing team that discusses that with the original IP holders. And I don't think they went all the way. I don't think the original IP holders got all the way to the end and said, hey, this is what we want, after you've already started building it. I think that somebody said, you know what, go ahead and start what you're doing, and then we'll work things out on this side. That doesn't work out, and then what do you have left?
A purge house that really looks like Scream.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that what used to mainly be a creative-driven event is very much being taken over by the marketing side.
No, and I think now you've said that, just looking at it as a whole, you can kind of see that now. With the IPs coming in, it's probably the biggest indication of that the marketing, it's easier to market an event when you've got recognizable brands to promote than it is when you haven't.
But we know we can do the original stuff really well.
But that's not... You have to convince people that don't know what those are that it's worth coming to. You throw out a Walking Dead, an American Horror Story, a Shining.
Yeah, but I'm not saying the entire thing has to be.
No, and it won't be. Darren, do you ever think...
I'm just saying I'd like to see a better ratio of it.
Do you ever think it'll get to that point? Because Hollywood is pretty much every year now, isn't it?
What? Just all IP?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could see it happening. I don't want to see it happening, but...
I hope not.
Well, look at that first year we went. I mean, how much of it was IP?
None of them.
Exactly. And it was phenomenal. They need to do things like bringing back the carnival float thing. That was brilliant. And being able to when they were parked up, you could go around and see see it all as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was a people eater. That was brilliant.
You look at 25. Most people's favourite house was Jack Presents 25 Years of Monsters and Mayhem, which was completely made up of original concepts. Yeah.
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 That's the thing. Creative knows that they could drive an entire event on their creative abilities. They know that very well. Marketing knows that big IPs will bring more people to the event. So it's who wins out in that debate, and it looks like marketing wins out in that debate.
How many icons have they had?
In total?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I should bring these things. Jack,
more
Chance.
than a dozen.
You guys always do these things to me. Like,
no.
Jack, Chance, Lady Luck, Caretaker,
Usher.
Has the Usher actually been an icon, Darren?
Should be.
Yes.
He has. The Storyteller.
Director.
Death. Or what's he called? No, Fear, sorry.
Mm.
And then you had the silver screen one where the icons were, was it Freddy, Leatherface, Jason, was it?
So approximately 10.
Yeah.
Out of that, you could make an event. Have Battle of the Icons one year.
Mm-hmm.
A house or a zone themed to each one. I think that would be phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't even had that announcement yet, have we?
The thing is, though, that's all original.
No.
But they're all known quantities. So it's not like they wouldn't have to do much convincing because they've been experienced already. And most of them loved.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
But
we need to move
I know, but I had a quick question for Darren, which I've now forgotten. You were saying earlier about not wanting to see rehashes of old houses.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel if they did 1 year and every single one was a rehash, but they could guarantee that they'll be in popular houses, but they could guarantee that they were even better? How would you feel then?
I would just want them to do something new. So.
Yeah, you can't. Well, look
I'm so tired of remakes, rehashes, redoing the same things over again. Having Spider-Man back in the theaters, you know, like
I'm with you.
You're right.
It might be a better Spider-Man right now, but and they might do a better version of that house. But I just want a new one.
Yeah.
I want to see a new thing, a new concept, a new idea, and it seems like the whole entire creative world is running out of those things.
You're right. Exactly.
Or they're not being allowed to express those things because the other way is the safe route, and I don't want to see that anymore.
Do you know what? I don't. We don't like safe, do we?
No,
but he's right, Darren. It is the whole movies and everything's it's reboots and redos. And
when we go to the cinema, what's my biggest complaint about what we're going to see 99% of the time?
It's comic book stuff.
We're going to see more comic book stuff. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but I want something else. I'm comic booked out.
Yep.
And it's the same. It is the same thing. You want something fresh.
Yeah. Exactly. I want a new horror movie, but do I want Annabelle Creation? Do I want another movie in that same series? Like,
you haven't even seen the first one.
No, I know, but I get it.
I just want to see something new, something fresh, like I said.
Yeah.
So, and that's the same thing I want from Horror Nights: something new, something fresh. You know, something I haven't seen before.
We're gonna have to create our own.
Yeah.
Well.
Hell.
Let me tell you about a house that they've done before that's coming back. Well, also really quick, annual pass holders are going to have advanced admission to 3 houses again. They're doing that again. This appreciation kind of falls in the same time as the first bit of Horror Nights. So September 15th, 16th, 22nd, my birthday, and 23rd, you'll be able to get in ahead of time. And from my experience, it's a little mixed. You still want to get there as early as you can, even on the pass holder side, to get in there before like the mess starts, because you'll be waiting a long time on the annual pass holder entrance if not. So, but yeah, they also announced actually right before we started recording today for the first time, I think ever, they announced something right before we recorded, and that is the very awkwardly named Saw: The Games of Jigsaw coming to Halloween Horror Nights. That is obviously a very last minute name. I think that was the problem why this hasn't been announced earlier, because it was surely originally called Saw Legacy, which is what the house was. The movie was originally supposed to be called, which they changed the name of the movie just to Jigsaw. And I guess they didn't think just the name Jigsaw would be enough for the house. I thought that would have really been explanatory enough as it is, but they did Saw: the games of Jigsaw.
God, Jigsaw in pieces.
So is this
That'd have been better.
Is this going to end? I'm not even going down there. Is this going to encompass all the films then, Darren, or is it just based on this new one?
Well, what Patrick Braillard said here real quick is Jigsaw is back. Just writing those words made me smile. I can't believe it. It's been 8 years since the last time the Saw franchise was a part of the Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights, so it has been a while. I did not go that year either, so it's new to me.
There you go.
Jigsaw's return in our brand new haunted house, Saw: The Games of Jigsaw, allows us to place our guests in the twisted situation that fans of the film series have grown to love throughout the years. And while there are nods to the original Horror Nights 19 house, make no mistake, this is not that house. During concept, we're excited to examine the evolution of Jigsaw in the new film and how it might affect the guest experience. So basically, you'll be living a preview of a trap featured in the new film before the movie comes out.
Right.
So also placing the house in a different location this time around gave us another way to elevate the scares. He doesn't say where it is, though. Saw: The Games of Jigsaw functions as one large trap. You'll be funneled through claustrophobic, visceral experiences and be a part of the most terrifying games ever devised on screen. Trials that you may be familiar with and some that are completely unknown to you. Sounds fun.
Sounds like Saw live at Thorpe Park.
Yeah.
I posted this on the Dead Man's Digest page on the website, and wow, people are not excited about a Saw house.
I gotta admit, what I saw, I thought it looked really good.
Yeah, I'm kind of into it. I know there's kind of part of it will be you're going to be watching other people get tortured. That's kind of like what the Saw experience was. That's what I've heard from the original Saw houses. There wasn't a lot of scares for you. It was a lot of just like walking by and watching like scenes play out, which I'm cool with those kind of houses as well, as long as they keep the actors fresh.
Yeah, well, you think it kind of like to equate it to something that we've experienced is very Body Collectors.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like with the spine rip section and that sounds very much like that
amazing,
actually, which was cool. I mean, that was such a good house.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so I think people are initially going to be down on this one, but it has the potential in my mind to be one of the better houses, honestly.
I think it's that anticipation thing. It's it's been so long since we've had an announcement, and then they announced this, which is big, but it's not massive, and everyone's kind of gone, "Oh well, is that all it is?"
Yeah, everybody goes, "Oh, there's an announcement."
Yeah, it's Jigsaw.
Yeah, and the Saw franchise, has gone off the rails, obviously, from time to time. And it's not everybody's favorite, but I think like I said, what I focus more on when I'm thinking about a house is the environments that they have in there, and those environments are awesome.
Yeah,
I think that that's going to be really cool, and I think they have enough with like the the pig head mask and that kind of thing, to have those scare actors in there as well to get you while you're focused on the scenes playing out. So I think it's going to end up that especially big fans like us that will go through these houses multiple times. We're going to have a good appreciation for the actors that are playing these scenes out. So I'm for it personally. I don't see really the disappointment and what people are worried about. So,
and I think if you look at the 4 houses that have been announced, they're all very different.
Yes, that is very true.
Yeah. Which is
like I'm seeing The Shining as like an atmospheric house, and I'm seeing this as like a very visceral, like I said, acted out house like that. American Horror Story was great, the last year when they had it there. So I anticipate it to be a lot of the same, which was a good mix of those acted out scenes and like just straight up jump scares.
Yeah. And then Ash is your sort of comedy zombie house,
and that's like dark comedy.
Yeah.
Just like a full out great. Yeah, I think that's going to be awesome. So
got a really good sort of mixture of houses in there. But I mean, we've still got, with the Halloween Horror Nights begins 4 weeks on Friday night, and we've still got all the scare zones, 5 houses, and the shows to announce.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a hell of a rush.
Yep.
Yeah.
But with how they did the announcements here, oh yeah, and also remember they probably will not do. They don't like to advertise a lot of Horror Night stuff when Rock the Universe is happening.
This is true.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that kind of cuts into that time as well. So hopefully we're going to be getting information a lot sooner than later. So
really, Universal can't win though, can they? Really, when you look at it,
no.
They're getting complaints that they're not making any announcements. They make one, and then people complain about it.
yeah.
So they can't win. I just hope that, you know what, when this night actually opens, this event finally opens, that it actually turns out to be one of the best ones they've ever done and just shuts all the critics up, us included.
Certainly.
I hope that.
Because that's what you hope every year.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, no. I hope it's not the best one till we're actually back there. Save that for us coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This has been a
This one
long
up till now.
episode.
it's the most I've spoken on
We
Horror
kinda
Nights,
left.
I think.
Left at the topic that there's the most discussion right till the end, and it's weird because we tend to agree a lot of the time with each other's decisions. We're kind of all on the same page, but I think with this one it's actually nice to something to get our teeth into a little bit and disagree with each other for a change. It was quite I enjoyed that. I like a good argument.
I shall disagree with you more often then, dear.
You disagree with me all the time.
That's true. You concede nout to me, though.
No, I won't.
No. Right. I think we need to put this one to bed.
I agree.
Yeah, so, okie dokie. So for show 261 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, I've been Tracy, and with me have been Lee and Darren. So enjoy the rest of your evening, people.
Shout out to Ellen in the movie ride.
Put that grass skirt down, Lee Malaby.
Well, that wraps up another Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Thanks for listening. Between shows, please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes. It really helps. But if you're not an Apple user, you can find us on Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, or wherever great podcasts are found. Head over to our blog at uuopodcast.com for show notes, articles, and more. You can get in touch with us by emailing podcast@uuopodcast.com or leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/uuopodcast. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. Just search UUO Podcast. And if you're planning a trip to Universal Orlando or Walt Disney World, please check out our sponsors by going to mouseandmuggle.com to book your next trip. Well, that's a wrap. See you next week.